Welcome to the Brent Weinbach podcast. My name is Brent Weinbach, and let's go back to 1991, specifically the weekend of June 28th, 1991. The top 5 grossing movies at the box office that weekend were, do you remember them? They were Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, City Slickers, The Rocketeer, and Dying Young, which the previous week was at number 3. And Dying Young just really sticks out, doesn't it? You have some really exciting titles, and then you have Dying Young, which, I mean, no disrespect to the people who made Dying Young, but it doesn't really have the same kind of ring to it that some of these other movies have, like City Slickers or The Rocketeer. And in addition to that, Dying Young, well, it sounds like a real bummer, doesn't it? Dying Young. So you can choose, I don't know what other movies were playing that weekend, but you have a list of movies to choose from. And say you didn't really know anything about those movies. All you had to do was go off of the title. Well, I mean, you've got movies like City Slickers. What do you think you want to watch? Do you want to watch City Slickers? Oh, that could be fun. That sounds kind of fun. How about The Rocketeer? Yeah, that sounds... Or, I don't know, there's this movie Dying Young. Dying Young. I mean, think about all the options here. We've got Naked Gun 2.5. You saw the first Naked Gun, right? It was funny. Well, this is going to be maybe even funnier. 2.5, they're calling it? That's hilarious already. The Smell of Fear, Naked Gun, the Naked Gun 2.5. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty funny. We should probably watch that. Well, okay, what other options do we have? Well, there's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, well, it's the classic Robin Hood story, I guess. And well, that does sound like an exciting event. I think that's going to be an adventure for us to check that out. Okay, what else you got? City Slickers. Okay, I don't know. What is this about? Some metropolitan wisecrackers or something? I mean, these guys are slick. They're from the city. I don't know. But it does sound fun. That sounds exciting. City Slickers. These guys are exciting guys from the city. And The Rocketeer, that also is playing? Yeah, it is. Yeah. The Rocketeer, I don't know, man. Is there a jetpack involved or something? That sounds a rocket belt involved. That sounds exciting, man. I mean, wow. All of these sound really exciting to me. The Naked Gun, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, City Slickers, The Rocketeer. And then, well, hold on a second. There's this other movie. It's called Dying Young. Dying Young. Yeah, let's go to that one. Let's go to Dying Young. That might be fun. That might be really fun. That actually might be really fun to go to. Dying Young. I mean, I don't know. If I had to pick between The Naked Gun, Robin Hood, City Slickers, The Rocketeer, and Dying Young, I'm thinking Dying Young sounds like a blast. Dying Young. No offense to whoever titled the movie, but it doesn't sound like... It sounds really plain, actually, to Dying Young. It doesn't sound... There's nothing... It doesn't sound like there's any ring to it, is all, you know? And it's just... It's amazing that the movie was even... That it even charted, you know, that it got top 5 2 weeks in a row. I mean, Dying Young, it just sounds so grim. Dying already is pretty grim. But Dying Young? That's extra grim. And it's not even a fancy title like The Youth Should Never Die. You know, the youth can only die once or something. You know, I don't know. It's not, there's no, I don't know. There's no sparkle to the title at all. It's just Dying Young. I'm trying to think of how would you spice up the title to make it sound more exciting or at least more engaging or something. maybe even something like the youthful death or something like that. The youngest death. Death death becomes hmm, when the young die young. How about that? Even when the young die young. That sounds something, you know. But just dying young, it just sounds like a phrase taken out of context or something. I mean, or just it sounds like it's part of a sentence or something like that. Dying young. And I don't know, by comparison, The Rocketeer, City Slickers, Prince of Thieves, The Naked Gun 2.5. These all sound so The Smell of Fear. Wow, it just feels like I just can't believe anybody even would want to pick Dying Young. No offense to the people who brought you Dying Young. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. You know, I just thought that was it was actually kind of just funny to me. You know, the Dying Young, it just sticks out. It sticks out sorely. I'm trying to think of a snappier title than Dying Young. How about just Too Young to Die or something like that, you know, or um, yeah, the youngest death, or death becomes death becomes youth, or death becomes young. Yeah, young. This. How about the un the unfathomable impact of no, that's too long. Um, how about death and the youngest? Uh, how about death and innocent? Death and the youngest bud. The how about something like when the flower? No, when the flower blooms, the petal. How about just the petals will wilt, or something like that? The the wilted. How about the wilted flower, or wilted flowers? How about that? Wilted flowers. I mean, I know it's a serious movie, and wilted flowers. That kind of works, doesn't it? I'm trying to think of something that's young, also new, fresh. I mean, I'm just thinking of a bud. You know, how about a rosebud? Rosebud. You remember that episode of the Ghostbusters cartoon? The wilted flowers. No, something. Dead. Um, the youngest ones who the youngest will be missed. Missing the hmm. Saying goodbye. Saying goodbye to goodbye goodbye so soon. Leaving so soon. How about that? Leaving so soon. How about that one? Leaving so soon. Vidal. How about Vidal so soon? If we don't look good, you don't look good. Anyway, Dying Young. That's an interesting title. Hey, you want to see City Slickers? I'm thinking Dying Young. Let's go watch that. So, look, the main point of this episode is I said last week that I was going to listen to the phone messages that have accumulated in the phone message box, and I'm going to get to them right now. So, let's start with, and if you want to call in and leave a message, the phone number is 213 207 6952. And, you know, if you want to just get something off your mind, or you have some sort of issue and maybe I can sort of think of some solutions for the issue, or just give you some feedback on something, feel free to call. And if you've got a juicy secret, leave that too. And if you want, specify you only want me playing it on the extended portion of the episode because you just want the insiders in on it. But Happy to hear a secret. I like secrets. I like secrets. You can tell me your secret. I won't tell anybody. Shh. All right. This is this call is from 207 area code.
Yeah, just real quick, with the TFA thing. So like, I just watched that video, that you put up. So it's like you and the TSA guy, are getting into it, right? And then, getting pretty hot and heavy. And the TSA guy says, "Hey, can I get a male assist?" And a guy comes over, he says, "I thought you never asked." And then he takes that dude's place, and then he like takes it to another level. And then the first TSA guy just steps off to the side and smokes a cigarette, right? And then like, you're like loving it. Yeah.
I did we I don't know, in my mind I feel like did I hear this already? I don't know. I feel like I heard this. Oh, maybe it was a continuation of a previous call. Okay. Hey, well, yeah. I mean, look, I get it. That's just an add-on to. I mean, if you know, guys don't know. I mean, I've talked about this before. How when you if you go through TSA and you opt for the pat down, it's basically like a free massage, and it feels good. And I kind of wish it lasted a little longer. But they pat your body down, and then they kind of dig their hands and the sides of their hands into some of your crevices, and it feels good. It really does. And so this man is saying, yeah, hey, what if you get he calls over another guy to give you a massage, and he's into it. We're all into it, I guess is what he's saying. And yeah, sure. I mean, my whole thought was, if I had a lot of money, I'd pay for some massage guy to give the TSA agent a massage while he massaged me, so that he could sort of feel what it feels like, and we can all be feeling it at the same time. The TSA guy touches me, and then I have another guy touching him. In fact, that's what the male assist could be. You're saying that the male assist. Hey, can I get a male assist? That guy massages the first guy while he massages me. So we've got a little train going. And who knows, maybe we can get some other male assists in on the action. I mean, maybe we can get some sort of fivesome going with a bunch of male assists. But it does feel good, and it's really kind of the best kept secret at any United States airport. But yeah, I hear that, the male assist. I do feel that sometimes these TSA agents they do like touching me and other people, I assume, because they definitely seem kind of into it sometimes. Sometimes certain guys, they don't really pat your body down much. They kind of just do it really kind of quickly. But the guys who are really thorough and really dig in there, those are power trippers, and they really kind of they take their job too seriously. And the more seriously they take their job, the better it feels on our bodies. So you got to look for some sort of power tripper when you're looking for a male assist. Imagine putting an ad up in the classified section looking for male assist. And it's somebody to just sort of pat you down. Maybe, I don't know, maybe before you go to work in the morning, you get a nice male assist pat down. Imagine having your own private pat down. You have your own TSA agent for your own home. He can pat you down before you go out into the world, get you all sort of fluffed up and ready to go. That could work as a business model. Seeking male assist for private TSA home experience. Uniform required, but it's not the TSA uniform. You kind of design your own uniform. If I had my own TSA employee that was private and it was just for the home use, yeah, I think his uniform would probably consist of a black leather mask with that zips open for the mouth. Usually the zipper's closed, but if he needed to be fed, then I would probably unzip the zipper. It's kind of the only way to get food in there, I guess. I mean, I guess there's other ways, but that's probably the easiest way. the least painful, at least. So we have that, and he'd probably wear the other parts of his uniform would consist of various strappings, and probably a jock strap. Probably go classic white on that one. But anyway, okay, let's move on to another call here. This is from this is from the 502 area code.
Hello, this is Bryce.
Bryce.
Bryce is hell here.
Bryce is hell.
I was just, it's an annoyance, I guess, but, I mean, it is annoying. I don't know, because I don't know what's the right thing. But if someone says, like, let's just say today's, Wednesday,
Okay.
and somebody says, okay, let's do that. Let's meet up next weekend. Or let's meet up next Saturday. But today's Wednesday. They say,
I know where you're going with this already. You're saying, okay, let's meet up next Saturday. But are they talking about this Saturday coming up, or are they talking about next week's Saturday? I get you. And I'm, okay, maybe I'm jumping the gun here. I don't know. I've only heard half of this message, or actually a third of the message. But if you say next Saturday, that sounds like you're saying the following week. And, you better recognize.
next Saturday. But today's Wednesday. They say next Saturday. Alright, so like the next Saturday that's coming is like 4 days away or whatever. Thursday, Friday. 3 days away. Well, so, but I think they mean, okay, let's do next Saturday. If they say like, well, let's do next Saturday, they mean like 10 days away.
Yeah.
Like a week from, so you say this Saturday. Let's meet up this Saturday if you mean in 3 days. Or I don't know, do you? I don't know what's what. I don't know how to look it up or, so
Yeah.
maybe I was hoping you could help me
Okay.
figure that out. Or
Yeah.
I feel like I have to like, it ends up being a longer conversation every time because you don't know, what they mean. Like, like you talking about this Saturday that's coming, the first one, or is it, no, next Saturday. That's next Saturday is a week from this one. Or next Saturday is the next one that's coming, which is 3 days. Right? Well, no, they mean a week from Saturday. Just want to catch your thoughts on that thing.
I'm just going to lay it down for you, okay, to avoid any confusion. If it's going to be that Saturday, they're going to say this Saturday. This Saturday is that Saturday. Okay? That's it. That's as simple as that. Next Saturday is the next week's Saturday. Now, look, if you want to get into some issues, really it's about, when does the next week start, really? Because say it's Wednesday, and then if they say next Monday, what does that mean? That's the question, Bryce. It's obvious. If they say next Saturday, they're not talking about this Saturday. They're talking about next Saturday. Okay, so whatever. That's not a problem. You're done. You're done there, okay? The problem is if they say next Monday, because I'm guessing that, okay, if you are on Wednesday, or if you're even on Friday, let's say, or if you're even on Saturday, right? Yeah, it's weird. That's where things get weird because it's a different week. So if it's Wednesday and you say next Monday, that can be confusing. Now, what are we talking about? Now I'm confused. Is it this Monday? I mean, to me, if you said this Monday on Wednesday, there's no question. It has to mean the closest Monday possible. If you say next Monday, there's confusion. So let's just establish that rule. Now, if you mean the following Monday, well, look, we're establishing it right now, okay? For everybody who listens to this podcast, if you say this, it means the closest one. If you say next, it means the next one after that. And it's as simple as that. But it is confusing if you're talking about what I'm talking about. Especially if you get to Friday. If you're on Friday and you say next Monday, you can't possibly mean in 3 days, can you? Yeah, I guess you can. I don't know, next Monday. It's got to be this Monday. That's okay. So that's what it is, guys. Look, this is the rule. It's that this easy. And I'm sorry this is so easy and not more convoluted. I wish it was more convoluted. And I could try to make it more convoluted if you want, but well, I mean, look. All right, simple as this. If you say this, it's going to mean the next one. Yeah, that's right. I'm just sorry. I'm going through it with my head right now. If you say this, it means the closest coming one. If you say next, it means whatever next week's day is. Now, you can say this sometimes, and it will sometimes mean the following week, but it's the closest day of whatever day you're talking about. So, okay, that's clear, right? Now, you can also clarify things even more by going, this coming whatever week it is. But maybe you don't want to use so many words. Anyway, I think it's pretty clear. I think we cleared it up. But, I mean, look, it is a little weird. I get it. And I've been there before. But you just have to sort of look at it logically. When does the week start? I guess that's the real question. Does it start on Sunday or Monday? Isn't it kind of interesting how Sunday is Sunday and Monday is Moon Day? You know, it started as Moon Day, right? Sun and Moon. How about that? It's interesting how the days of the week are named after stuff, you know? There's Sun and Moon, and then there's Tuesday, which is named after two, because it's kind of like the second day. Is that what it is? This is kind of like the second day of the week. So it's number 2 day, Tuesday. And then Wednesday is kind of in the middle of the week in a way. So it's sort of a joining of the two halves. You know, it's a wedding or something like that of the two. There's it's sort of a joining, something like that. Thursday is Thor's Day. That's just sort of named after the god Thor. Are the days of the week kind of, why is there a Norse god in the days of the week? That's a question, right? Why is there a Norse god? And then Friday, I think that's when you just sort of, you get blazed. I don't know. Is that when you get blazed? I think that's when you go to Blaze Pizza and you just sort of get a red vine, get an arugula salad with no dressing, just get some olive oil on that, get some shaved Parmesan instead of that feta, and maybe a little bit of salt on there sprinkled on. Ooh, you got to get yourself a good little salad, don't you? That's for Friday. Saturday, that's named after Saturn, the Roman god Saturn, or is a goddess, I think. Okay, so Saturn. So we've got Roman mythology, and then is Friday sort of free day? Oh, free day. Oh, that's what it probably is. Because Friday is the end of the week, and then after when you get off of work, you're free. So it's free day. Free day, Saturn day. Why Saturn of all the planets or all the goddesses and gods? Why that one, Saturn? Well, it's got those rings. You know, rings. I guess rings are something that you would play. Oh, it ties into the wedding thing on Wednesday. I guess you get married on Wednesday, and then on Saturday you get the ring. You'd probably get the ring first. You probably want to get the ring first on Saturday, and then get married next Wednesday or this coming Wednesday. Then that would make sense, I guess. And when they say, as the Lord is our witness, they're talking about the Lord Thor. And so there you have it. Yeah. I guess it is sort of celestial, the days of the week, isn't it? Because you have the sun and the moon and Saturn. And then you've got Thor, who is sort of he's from the heavens probably or something, right? Thor does have the winged hat, doesn't he? Kind of like a Hermes hat. Doesn't Thor have a winged hat? Because the reason I think that is because I'm pretty sure that the girl in Adventures in Babysitting has a winged hat, and she's really into Thor. And Vincent D'Onofrio plays Thor, and Vincent D'Onofrio was in the movie Dying Young. Just a little bit of trivia there. Vincent D'Onofrio plays Thor in Adventures in Babysitting, and it's interesting that the girl in that movie, she's just really into Thor. It's kind of like choosing dying young amongst all those movies. I mean, you could be into a bunch of stuff when you're a kid. You can be into dinosaurs, or you can be into Transformers, or you can be into, you know, Jax. Jax, the game Jax. But to pick Thor as to be your thing that you're into. I mean, you could be in a Rainbow Bright. You could be in a Strawberry Shortcake as a girl, or you could be in a My Little Pony as a boy. And yet you pick Thor of all things. I mean, heck, you could have been even into Zeus or something like that. But, I mean, Zeus, Tiny Lister, the guy from No Holds Barred, and the movie Friday or Free Day. His name is Tiny Lister, right? Isn't it? Yeah, he played Zeus in No Holds Barred. But anyway, he's in Friday. It's all connected, don't you see? Zeus, I mean Thor, but why Thor of all things? Hey, well, it was a good choice. It was a unique choice, and I applaud the writer for thinking that up. Thor's Day, Free Day, Saturn Day, Sunday, Moon Day, Tuesday. Tuesday. Let's see. What is that? Mardi. That's what it is in French, Mardi. And Marty was the 1955 Best Oscars winner, you know. It starred Ernest Borgnine, okay? And Ernest Borgnine was in the Wild Bunch, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Yeah, I think he was. Wasn't he in that? I think he was. Anyway, I hope that makes sense, Bryce. I hope you learned something. This is from the 818.
Hey Brent, first time, long time. I just wanted to call in real quick. My partner and I recently got back from a long road trip. We were recollecting some of the good and not so good hotel, motel stays.
When you say partner, do you mean business partner or romantic partner or both? Or do you mean, a sports partner, a tennis partner?
From a long road trip. We were recollecting some of the good and not so good hotel, motel stays we had along the trip.
Mm-hmm.
We both agreed that comparatively, the Best Western Plus in St. George, Utah,
Oh,
offered probably the best lodging experience we've had on the road in a while.
why is that?
The accommodation, service, breakfast, buffet, etc. were all top notch. This spawned a conversation about what exactly sets apart a Best Western from a Best Western Plus. And perhaps the plus is what set it apart from the rest in terms of hospitality, cleanliness, and convenience.
I would think
This
so.
had us thinking, what other brands should be considered in the Best Western family of hotels portfolio to offer the most exciting and unique accommodation experiences? So far, we've come up with the following. We have Best Western Supreme for that extra dash of comfort and luxury. Best Western Light, which features an emphasis on economy, efficiency. Best Western Unleashed, emphasis on pet friendliness. Best Western Live and Uncut. That's self-explanatory. Best Western Locked and Loaded. Best Western Oops, All Western. Best Western for Dummies. Best Western Retribution. Best Western Her Pleasure, for the ladies, mimosas, etc.
Yeah.
Best Western No Way Out. That's like a escape room focused type of style.
I mean, you're making me think of a bunch of options myself right now, but I mean, I'll let you finish first. I mean, maybe you're going to say the ones I'm thinking of already.
Escape room focused type of style situation. Best Western Modern Warfare. Best Western Black. Or Best Western Midnight. I like the idea of that one. Best Western In the Shadow of Giants. My personal favorite. Best Western Frost Glacier Freeze. If you've ever stayed at a Best Western, you have some ideas you want to toss around about different types of branding, experiential hospitality situations that you think they should offer. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Anyways, good luck with the Browncast, and hope to hear back soon. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank you for the call. Those are some great ideas. One thing you didn't mention was Best Western Minus. I mean, that seemed like the obvious one. Best Western Minus. It's a no frills, budget version of Best Western. So, okay, I know Best Western kind of without the plus is sort of already that in a way, but this is even the bare minimum. I mean, when you take a flight and you take something like Frontier, I don't know, what are those ones? Spirit, right? Where you get every little thing is charged for. I mean, we're talking water and all that. So every little thing gets charged for with Best Western Minus, So if you basically with Best Western Minus, you get just a room. You don't get anything else. But if you want the pillow and you want a bed, you got to pay a little bit extra for those things. If you want water, and then if you want hot water, so you can decide what you want. But they give you just the basic box for Best Western Minus, and then you can add on whatever you want to add to the Minus. That could be actually a pretty good business model for Best Western. I mean, for everything they offer with Best Western Plus, it'd be a good balance for them. They're probably, and look, I mean, that a Best Western Minus would probably be geared towards a different audience, maybe an audience that's more, used to living in less comfortable kind of environments. Just something to get by with, In fact, Best Western Minus might be a great kind of community service kind of benefit or something, Heck, I mean, Best Western Minus might even be free, and then you just pay for precisely what you need. If you want electricity, you pay for that. It's just a little add-on. And anyway, so Best Western Minus came to mind. And then there's, I don't know if you said this, but you said Best Western Black and Best Western Midnight, but what about Best Western X? So that can mean either you've had plus and minus, and then this is sort of like times. So it's kind of like Best Western Times, but it's also Best Western X, as in it gets kind of, it's basically a love hotel or something like that. I mean, it's somewhere you can take a mistress or a mister. And it's somewhere that is sort of catered to that audience, that if they want to, pick up some sort of hitchhiker and make some sort of deal on the road, and they could stop at a Best Western X and sort of, do whatever kind of salacious things they want to do. Best Western X has a gift shop as well. They have, Viagra pills, and they have also Pepto-Bismol pills because, I don't know, in case somebody doesn't want to get diarrhea while they're sort of, involved in lewd activities, then they can just, take some Pepto-Bismol. They sell that at the gift shop. And they also have, penis pops and things like that, and maybe some pumps. And pumps, by pumps, I mean high heels and things to make things bigger. So that's Best Western X. Best Western X has, artwork that is provocative. They have nudity, and the TVs don't play any channels except for Spice and other pay-per-view channels that are have adult content. So Best Western Minus, X is that. Best Western Times is basically the same thing. In fact, you're just misreading it if you call it Best Western Times. But that does make me think, what about the divided sign? I mean, Best Western Divided. This is where they separate people depending on your preferences. If you have, if you politically, you only want to be with, say, Democrats. It's the Democrat section, the Republican section, or say you want to only be with, you only want to be around what the society deems as conventionally attractive. You only want to be with attractive people. That's one section. And if you want to be with alternative looking people, then you go to another section. Or if you want to be separated in terms of music tastes. Say if you're a Hesher and you only want to be around grunge, then you go to the grunge section. And then if you want to be, if you're just going Zydeco and you want to sort of, you wear, say you wear a straw hat and you wear overalls and you only listen to Zydeco, then you probably go to that section. But basically, Best Western Divided is Divided We Stand. That's their kind of logo. Best Western Divided We Stand. So Best Western Divided, that works for those. And then you've covered all of the four major um, mathematical operations, except you might want to throw Best Western Squared in there, okay? Exponents. I kind of like that. Best Western Squared. Best Western Squared is just, it's kind of, it's an exponentially better experience than just a normal Best Western or even Best Western Plus. You get, everything is just more, So you don't just get hot water, you get scalding hot water. You don't just get a bed, you get 10 beds stacked up on each other with a P at the bottom of them. And, when you sleep on it, you're meant to not feel you are meant to feel the P, They designed it to make you feel like a princess. That's the whole idea behind it. Is with Best Western Square, they want you to feel like a princess. And then there's also parentheses. So there's Best Western and then in parentheses, Best Western. So what that means is it's just Best Western, but it's marketed in a way that makes it special. So the idea is we've done all these different options so much that we want to feel special about the basic Best Western experience. Well, that's when Best Western comes into play, is that, it's Best Western, but it's basically just Best Western. So it's kind of when you want to get back to basics and get back to your roots. And then I also had this other idea when you were talking about it, Best Western. You can call it Best Western Cowboy, or I don't know. It's like maybe Best Western Old, and it's kind of the Old West experience of Best Western. So, everything is cowboy themed, and there's horses and stuff, and there's whatever. There's a saloon on site, you can go to, and whatever. There's prostitutes and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of that sort of that aspect is sort of a collaboration with Best Western X, but there is it's an Old West experience. Best Western. Maybe it would actually be Best Western genre. So it's the genre of Western, and everything is themed. And guess who shows up in there? Ernest Borgnine, a la the Wild Bunch. If you want that's their slogan. Best Western genre for your Wild Bunch, for the ultimate Wild Bunch experience. What about Best Western balls? So imagine every room is filled with balls, but the whole place is a big ball pit. And when I say pit, I mean Brad Pitt. The whole thing is Brad Pitt's balls. Basically, Brad Pitt's balls. They have. I mean, it's not real. Obviously, that's not possible. But they have replicas of his balls. They took molds of his balls and they made these sort of lifelike balls, Brad Pitt's balls, and they fill the rooms with his balls. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Best Western balls. Best Western. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all. I mean, we can go on and on. There's so many. It's probably pretty much infinite, Best Western Infinity Plus. Let's see what else we have here. This is from the same caller here. Maybe this is an add-on here.
Hey, Brent, long time listener, second time caller.
Gotcha.
Just wanted to follow up on some of those Best Western franchise branding opportunities
Sure.
real quick.
Hey, sorry, I followed up on them for you just now.
As I thought of a couple more to share.
Okay.
How about Best Western 2, Revenge of Super 8? So this one offers like maybe some of the housekeepers at the neighboring Super 8 motel. They can sneak into your room in the middle of the night, place your hands in a bowl of warm water so that you see the Best Western bed sheets or something like that, tomfoolery. Okay, then I got Best Western, the musical. And then finally, Best Western Platinum. Anyways, I'm sure someone of your stature, I'm sure travels a lot, touring around, etc. So I would love to hear some of your thoughts on these ideas. Anyways, my name is Connor, signing off. Good luck with the new podcast. Wishing all the best. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Connor, okay. All right, thank you, Connor. Best Western Platinum sounds good. I mean, I think we kind of covered a lot of these. I mean, we can go on and on. I mean, you can also do, Best Western Europe, or something like that. And these are not in Europe. They're in wherever, Bakersfield, but they give you the European experience, In fact, they only take marks. They only take francs and stuff, lira. They only take lira. They don't have that stuff anymore. I've got them because I went to Europe before it changed over, and I've got all the old coins. That could be their slogan, Best Western Europe. We take all the old coins. It's really an opportunity for them to collect old coins, really. But Best Western Europe is pretty neat because they give you this full Norwegian experience, and you can go on a ride and everything. It's kind of like Disney World, Epcot. What about, and then there's Best Western, Asia. It's the same kind of thing. Best Western Down Under. And they have a live strip show at the commissary at night. It's rated G, though. Imagine a strip show that was rated G. Okay, that's a really cool idea. Imagine a show boy. I was thinking of men, by the way. I don't know about you, but it's a strip show. Okay, we're talking like Chippendales or Thunder from Down Under. But it is for the whole family. That's kind of interesting. So what does that mean? It means that they don't take everything off. In fact, they don't even take anything off. But they dance around and they do take off. No, sorry, they don't. Nothing is shown bare. They just take off certain parts of their clothes, but they don't take off anything beyond. It doesn't go beyond. Maybe as far as it goes is a t-shirt underneath, but. But they kick off their shoes at one point, and then they start pretty layered up. They're wearing a mountain parka and they're wearing a trench coat. They're wearing three-piece suits and things like that. They're wearing a lot of layers, okay? And in fact, they come up wrapped up in a blanket. I mean, there's this one guy named the Cocoon, and it's a guy who he's basically looks like a cocoon. It's a blanket. He's wrapped up in a blanket. And the one guy starts to unravel him, and he starts spinning around and around. And when he comes out of the thing, he has wings, and he flies away. It looks like a piece of sliced bread flying away. It's all rated G, but there's dancing. There's a line of men, and they are built men, okay? And they have got a lot of charisma. But the whole family can enjoy it. They have to make this. This is a great idea. I think this is a great idea. Okay, forget the whole Best Western thing. I'm off of that at this point, okay? I'm talking about a live review show in Las Vegas. And it is a live strip show for the whole family. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, don't they have that already? It's called Cirque du Soleil. No, it's not, because this thing is not. It's not all European and artsy in that kind of way. This is just down and dirty, but clean. Okay? In fact, a lot of these people were former Chippendale and Thunder from Down Under dancers. Don't they have a Magic Mike thing now? They've got Magic Microphone now, right? where they pass a microphone around and they stick it in. Well, I don't know how the routine goes, but I guess they stick it into their different holes or whatever. Well, they don't do that for the family version. They just pass the microphone and maybe they put it in their armpit or something like that. They do also lick their pits too. That's all right. That's okay. It's the family. They wear the tank top, so they still don't take off the shirt, but then there is some pit licking, and that's okay. And when I say pit, I mean Brad Pitt. I mean Brad's pit. So they model the pits after Brad Pitt's armpit, and it's it's fun for the whole family. I imagine there is a live review show. It's an all male review show, and wow, there's dancing, there's charisma, and there's muscles, but there's nothing inappropriate for the kids. I like that. That's a really good idea. That's the best idea I've had in a long time. Okay, let's say, I'll do one more call. And then I've got some calls we'll do in the extended. But I guess I'll just do this one for now. Let's do this.
Hey, this is Bryce. Just listening to the episode where you're talking about squirting.
Yeah.
Being squirted upon.
Yes.
And I had this. I thought you were going to talk about. I just had a feeling you were going to talk about about these things. Do you know these those troughs that you pee in, like people pee in?
Yeah.
Like it's usually, I guess, at a stadium or something. I've had.
Yeah, it is weird, these troughs, it's almost animalistic in a way. You just go to it's a watering hole, really. You go to these places, I've been there before, and people just pee into a trough. It's just a community sort of tub that you pee into, and you just do it. It's, I guess, kind of a neat way to connect with other men, but it is kind of revealing, isn't it?
Or something. I've seen them a couple times, but they seem to be at old stadiums or old venues or whatever, but where they have like a bathtub type of thing where all the men gather around and pee in.
That's right.
And it's like, that's crazy. Like everybody's getting splashed and squirted on.
I mean, that is weird because look, I've talked about this many times, but people think they know how to pee, right? They think they've got a solid stream, but there is a sprinkle, or what do you call it? There's droplets that spray from your stream, and they're getting everywhere. Not to mention bounce back. And so everybody around the trough, they're getting splashed on in some way or another. I mean, again, maybe it's some sort of icebreaker if you want to sort of do some male bonding, but it doesn't seem very sanitary.
Or sprayed, I guess. I don't know where it just bounces off all the porcelain, or I guess it's not even porcelain. I think it was like aluminum or tin or something. I don't know. It's just typically like a dark bathroom, and then it'd be like maybe 10 men peeing in a circle and just splashing each other.
Splash zone.
Off of the rebound, basically, just pee bouncing off of there.
That's what I'm saying.
So I just have a memory where I was maybe a 10-year-old or something like that. I don't know. My dad would take me to these University of Louisville football games regularly, and I remember him taking me to one of those situations, and that's real wild, huh? That's messed up, isn't it? To be a young boy and have all these men around you peeing in a thing. And typically it's in the summer, or you're wearing shorts or whatever at a football game. Maybe, I guess it could be the winter too. But either way, let's just say you're wearing shorts or pants, whatever it is. I mean, if you're a young boy, you're probably getting splashed in the face and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like a Rosemary's Baby hangout or something in the men's bathroom, and there's like a line out the door, so it's crowded in there. That's definitely, that's crazy of my dad to do that, huh? And anybody to go in those, that's crazy they make those. I don't know, they probably don't make those anymore. That's probably an old thing. But do you have any experience with that? What's your thoughts on that thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually how in the olden days how a boy became a man is by using the trough with his dad. They would just sort of, because once you get men's pee on you, it sort of makes you part man in a way. I mean, it's sort of like uh, what do you call that? A culture, It's like a bread culture or something like that. The pee gets on you. The pee of man gets on a boy, and it makes him become a man. And then, for some reason, that made me think of the title "Dying Young" just now. I don't know why, but peeing young, really, that's what that would be called, peeing young. And it's kind of like the death of youth is getting pee on you at a trough. You know what I mean? It's sort of like the transition to manhood is when you go to a trough and pee with grown men as a boy. Dying young. Hey, what do you think? Hey, let's watch a movie. Oh, there's so many really fun sounding movies out there. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, City Slickers sounds hilarious. And then maybe we can watch Dying Young. Dying Young, huh? That sounds fun. Dying Young. What a weird title for a movie, huh? Well, anyway, I'm gonna continue on, and if you want to join me, go to patreon.com/poundcast, POUNDCAST. And I've got a few more calls here, 4 more calls to be exact. I've got one coming up from, I think, the Best Western caller, Connor. I think I've got some calls here from Jason in Baltimore. And I think I've got a call here from somebody who I do not even know. I don't even know which one this is. Okay, so we're going to find out. There's somebody new there, I think. So come join us. And again, the phone number, if you're interested in the future leaving a message, is 213-207-6952. And if you want to watch this show on video, you can go to youtube.com/@Brent Weinbach podcast. And if you like the show, find it on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts, and just, review it and give it a good rating. If you're not giving it less than a 5, then don't even bother, okay? But, maybe other people can help find the show if you review it and rate it highly. I think that's about it. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the extended portion of the episode, and if not, we'll see you next week. My name is Brent Weinbach for the Brent Weinbach podcast. Bye-bye.